Frank. He says, well, you left it on at home. I said, I can't record anybody.
Donna, do you Zoom for work? Where's the waiting room? No, the waiting room. I pressed admit and then there's one person in there. That's it, and I don't know whether there's an actual waiting room. Like, if anyone tries to get in now, where do I find them?
It'll light up, they'll pop up and say somebody's in the waiting room.
Oh, okay.
I'll send an email to that.
What is that
Paul
participant?
well, why? I said, ask if I don't find things.
Ah, there we go, because that's usually
Scared
our...
again, good eye. Have you brought it? You know what? No, send him in. Ask if I don't find things. I'm up for now. I said, it's not there. I'm being left out in the cold.
Does it work? You are hereby summoned to attend a meeting of the Finance Committee at Hemsworth Town Council to be held in the main hall, Hemsworth Town Council, Hemsworth Community Centre, Bullenshaw Road, Hemsworth, commencing at 7 p.m. on the 23rd of January 2025 for the purpose of transacting following business. Now, before I start, I'll address the elephant in the room. The clerk is not here, and that is all that will be said. No questions will be taken on that matter. Number one, we have got a minute take here. Apologies for absence. Declarations of interest. To receive a budget update for the financial year to the 31st of December 2024. So, as of the 31st of December 2024, the current account was £10,000, the wages account was £27,061, 39 pence. The savings account had £13,419, 35 pence. The deposit account had £30,000. Any comments? Number 5, investment update. No, number 5? Oh. I've just done it the wrong way around, haven't I? I apologise, I've read this the wrong way around. So I have done the balance update as number 3 and it wasn't, it's number 4, and I do apologise. So the budget update, everyone has in their agenda pack 3 budgets. Those are the budgets that are in front of us now. You can take these home, annotate, put whatever comments you want on them, and bring them back at the meeting on the 5th of February, which will be held in chambers, for public comments to be addressed that way. Does any councillor have any comments on the budget?
I'll ask one question. Are we skint or are we not?
We're not skint, we're not insolvent, because insolvency would mean that a debt would exceed assets, and it does not. We are waiting on the transfers from the CCLA account to come into the current account. The money still stands, nothing has been taken from the reserves at this point, so the reserves still stand as they did before. However, the transfer is in process to come into the current account.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chair, just to be clear, budget update, is that what you just given us was the budget update across items 3 and 4? Yeah. These budgets are the budgets for next year, is that right?
That is next year's budget, yeah. If you could all just bear with me, because I am just reading off I've got a task sheet that I've been given, so I am just reading.
I know you've mentioned the.
No, I haven't done the investment update.
Yeah.
As of yet. This is the balance update, but I've read it wrong again.
That's why I'm asking, just so that it gets you back on.
I apologise because I'm reading from the other one. Because
So we've done budget update.
yeah, we've done
balance update.
We've done balance update.
So we're on investment update.
We need, but I don't have the figures for the investment account in front of me at this point in time. So I will have to vote to defer that as of this point. Because I just haven't got it in front of me, so I can't do that one. So can I propose that we defer the investment update?
One second.
All to defer the budget, the investment update.
Yeah, no, sorry.
All against deferring the investment update? Abstentions? And now we're back.
So I've got 4 looking Becca and who's that right? And then I've got Mr. against it. Sorry, was that against or are you abstaining?
Abstaining. I'd like to raise something. There's 7 councillors on this.
Can't hear you.
There's 7 councillors on this finance committee. Carol Whitehead, Sean Middleton, Peter Hardwick, Ada, you, Don and me. The Vicky Middleton's just voted.
Vicky Middleton's on the finance committee.
They've got names of 8 members. 7.
You can read your agenda if you want, Keith, but Vicky's name is most definitely on there.
No, it's not. It's on the circulation.
Vicky is on the finance.
I believe Keith, I was in a meeting, premise, when some of us went to look at finances.
Yeah, but that's not the finance committee.
I believe
That was decided at the May annual meeting.
I believe that.
I'm just going through the last meeting agenda. Thanks, Jenny. Keith, right? She's not on the finance committee, so you have to remove Vicky's vote.
Right, so just to be clear, I've got 8 and 4 and yourself, Becca.
Yep.
And then against, sorry,
2 abstentions.
no abstentions. That was Mr. Bates has not declared the election.
Sorry, Vicky. I'll put you over.
I saw someone.
It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, number 6, to address the budget and precept for 2025-2026. So it's for any councillor who wishes to discuss it, or if any member of the public wishes to discuss it, But you all have got a copy, and you can return your copy on the 5th of February at the public budget meeting, if you do have any concerns.
Can we ask questions now so we've got the information at the next meeting?
You can, but I'm limited to this
Just need
answer
to take
sheet.
note of the question.
Yep.
So that the clerk can
Yep.
get that information for next month.
That's fine.
So in expenditure, you've budgeted the cost for the new cafe, but can they be separated out because of what they are? So you've got a cost centre of 101, which is the expenditure in total, and that includes your increase in staff costs and other costs, but you've got the actual costs for which are part of the business plan for the development of the cafe.
Yep.
What I'm asking is if they can be separated out so we know what the budget was to build those well.
Yep. Have you got that, Donna? Yep.
And then the second one is you're showing a section 106 cost as an expenditure of 25,000. I'm just confused with section 106 on the income line to a parish council, not an expenditure.
That is money owed back from a 106.
Understand? So just maybe some detail on why it's owed back.
Yep.
That's the 50,000, isn't it?
Yes.
Split over two.
Split over two pages.
Understand?
Pete?
I'm going to ask us not to put the precept up. I know it sounds crazy, but when exactly do we decide on this budget?
So this budget will be decided on the 6th of February. We'll vote on the budget. This is not to vote on the budget, this is just everyone has a look at the budget. If you want to make any changes to the budget, if you want you can ask the clerk for a budget that has a 0 increase on precept if you like.
When can I propose that?
On the 6th of February.
Right.
But if you do want to propose that, we can ask the clerk for a 0 budget spreadsheet to see how that would look if you prefer, Pete. So you can have a look at where money would be if we didn't up the precept.
Well, I'm hoping that things will come good, and I'm hoping that we don't need to put it up.
Jason?
Take away my previous comments on this subject. This genuinely isn't related to that. Obviously, the town council are in the best financial position, although, like you said, they are solvent. It is liquid funds that make you cash flow solvent, which I think is different to insolvent. A lot of this could be resolved when the Duke Street deal is finalised and paid out. Is that likely to happen in the near future? Because that would be a potential to then not increase the precept because there's a significant amount of money due in from that sale. That would obviously resolve all these problems and put the money back in the CCLA account and resolve all this. Is that any further along?
That is, as of this point, it's no further along.
Okay.
Any other immediate comments on the budget that anyone wants to bring? Candy?
Obviously, Jason said, when he said Duke Street, that confused me a little bit. So obviously he's meaning Club Terrace. So you were meaning Club Terrace.
Yes.
So what is happening regarding the building that we've got in the town centre?
Bank Street.
Bank Street, yeah.
Bank Street it was voted that we would take it to a public meeting to potentially sell. However, we said that we would hold a meeting early in the year. So it is coming. A public meeting is coming to discuss that. It's not priority number one at this particular time.
So we don't know if we're going to look at selling, or have we had that value?
We haven't had it valued. We said that we'd take it to a public meeting beforehand and then discuss it with the public and then have a valuation done under. It has had a previous valuation done, but it's not an updated valuation.
So obviously, Club Terrace, we just know further forward at all.
Not at this point now.
So not even, do we know it will be this year, or we just don't know anything?
We don't know anything. Any other comments on the budget? Jason?
In the budget, there's no contingency for any potential legal challenges or anything, or any issues potentially. I think we mentioned that at the last meeting, but the meeting before, by a councillor that should have mentioned it, that there was potentially a legal issue that could be raised with the council from somebody, and that it was potentially a risk to funding. Well, there's a contingency line, but £12,000, and it was meant. One of the councillors mentioned that. I think I don't know if definitely was it that there was potential repercussions from Saul again or something along them lines, and that a letter had been put into the right. Okay, and that's been dealt with in that sense.
I've got one.
Maxine?
Sorry, just one note. So, am I right? That's not 12 grand.
You can just put, if you just put contingency and a question mark, and then Andrew will look into it.
It just doesn't seem a lot for potential problems in the next year with everything that's being said and going on. I'm just saying that £12,000 legal fees is probably, week's work. It's low, and I'm just wanting to make sure that obviously we're covered.
That's fine, Jason. Thank you. Maxine?
I'm just, another thing what I would like to point out is like, I think you should start putting something in. I know you can't calculate how much, but it needs some money in there for sickness as well, because that's where he's coming unstuck in this council.
Yep.
You need to start putting that into your budget. I know you can't work out exactly how much it's going to be, but if there's all left over, then you can put it into your savings account. But you need to start thinking about sickness in where it comes in.
Any other comments on the budget? Public question time. To receive questions pertaining to the committee's remit from members of the public. Anyone? Kathy?
It was raised in a meeting, I believe, in November regarding the floodlights up at Sandygate. From what I've picked up from different people, that is causing major problems for teams playing up there. What was actually agreed, because I think it was taken into exclusion. And I know when the question was asked before, the chairperson said he couldn't discuss it. Now, if those floodlights aren't being repaired, then you're going to risk losing your revenue, because the teams can't play if there's no floodlights, and you're also at risk of health and safety of children playing in substandard, in a substandard place.
So we are massively aware of the issues up at Sandygate. The budget does take into account for floodlights at Sandygate. However, the council were looking into funding to pay for the lights. we're limited to what kinds of funding we can and can't apply for as a council. And we had to look into our options, basically. We had decided to go with funding, however, it's trying to find that funding.
Equally, you put in children at risk by playing in areas that should be lit up, really. Not being funny, if I was a manager and I'm paying to rent the fields to play on and they're not available due to it being substandard, then I would be looking at the money that I've already laid out to book those.
But there wasn't money laid out to pay for it.
For the pay every year.
But we don't have a pot of money to pay for them up front. This is why we were looking at the funding options, because the money was never saved to pay for them.
It's not about the people who've already paid.
They've already paid. They've already
And
paid
now
for
can't
the
use it.
bookings for the year.
No,
You've already got the revenue in from the football teams.
As far as I'm aware, the monthly invoices.
Sorry?
The monthly invoice, they're invoiced monthly, they're not invoiced yearly. Julie?
Have we contacted or have we thought about asking Sport England? With it being, it's grassroots football teams, and obviously we've got representative Dale tonight from West End Terriers. It's a good idea if somebody did, thank you. We've just had an offer here that it may well help the council to get the floodlights up and running through funding through Sport England. And I'm sure Dale would be willing to help anything, work with council, with Laura, to see if there's anything we can help HTC with, any funding ourselves, as well as going through Sport England. I think we could be asking town clerk to get on with that as well.
As far as I'm aware, the town clerk and the deputy town clerk have been speaking to someone about Sports England grants. Sorry, Jason. They have been in contact with Jason about Sports England grants going forward, although Jason probably knows more about that than I do.
The idea is it will give you a sense, for instance, of £5,000. You have to pay 25%, you have to stand 25% for the rest of it paid by them. So you have to pay all in front anyway, and then they give you 75% of the back.
You could do multiple fundraising for that, so from councils, nothing in council part.
Just to put it in perspective, the cost, physical cost, no profit, to actually replace those lights to the standard that are required is just shy of £11,000 actual cost for those lights. Now, previous meeting, I hadn't spoke to a manufacturer and looked to try and get some donations of lights. However, that particular meeting, I got stopped from asking that question by the chair at the time, because I'd got support from them and they were going to provide the light fittings free of charge. They withdrew that support. They were watching the meeting, and after being shut down, they withdrew that support. However, I'm still willing to do the lights at cost. So whatever it physically cost me, which is just under £11,000, the light, the cable, the cherry picker, and the labour, I'm still happy to do that to try and support the council as a local business. So just something for you to consider.
If you,
And we have previously worked under Owns England because we do a lot of sports pitches and have previously in the past. So the offer's there. It's whether the council want to take us up on it.
if you can email me, Jason, directly, and then CC obviously Deb and
Yeah,
put
that's
it
fine.
in, and then I can follow that and chase them up.
No problem.
That's okay. Any other questions? Thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate your time. And please remember there is a meeting on the 5th of February. This is an unofficial meeting. This is not a council meeting. This is for you to discuss any concerns and questions on the budget that you have with you now. So you can take that away, annotate it on the back, any comments, bring them back on the 5th, and we can address any issues. Everyone's happy with that?
What time?
I'm pretty sure it's 7 o'clock, Gerald, off the top of my head, and it is in council chambers, not in here.
7 o'clock.
Upstairs, yeah.
That left.